I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This piano is one of my very favorites of all time, at least as far as uprights go. And I've been selling this piano for 13 years now, since 2010. I'm making this piano now in 2023. I've sold these pianos year after year after year. I've followed up behind them as a technician. I've been a technician since 1995. I've got 20,000 pianos under my belt. So I've got a lot of experience, and this one is just absolutely awesome. In some, and I'll show you why, in some I would say this piano is one of the very best bang for buck value pianos on the market. It absolutely compares head to head, competes head to head with pianos that are double, triple, even higher in price. And the guts, the touch, the tone, everything about it is the reason why. This particular piano, we actually installed a silent system. I'll show that also later in this video. But the main focus of this video is to really showcase just how good a piano the Hailun HU5P is. So, okay. Aside from the cosmetics, this piano is beautiful. I think just a lot of the touches, well, that's kind of cool too. That's sort of beside the point, the slow fall. But some of the touches, like the brass on the leg and just the overall proportions, I think it just makes for a really beautiful piano. This piano also commonly comes with nickel trim. We actually have one right here if you want to get a quick shot of that. You can see how it looks with the nickel hardware. The black and the nickel go really well together. But so does the black or ebony, and the brass goes really well together. Oh, and by the way, I'll mention one more thing before I open it up. We also do satinizing, meaning we turn a shiny, a polish piano like this into a satin finish. So for example, we've got two pianos right there next to each other. Those are actually exactly the same model. Those are two Yamaha U1s. The one on the left, of course, we've satinized. The one on the right is the normal polish. Same with this Yamaha right here. Let's see, come over here and you can kind of get a reflection of the light there. We do that here in-house. So that is an option too, to do that satinizing. Okay, enough of that. 5P is an awesome piano. I believe in it heart and soul, and here is why. There are lots of reasons, like technical kind of reasons, but I'm going to highlight maybe 3 of them. Things that I'm absolutely sold on. What makes this piano so good, besides just the touch and tone. Okay, so the first one that I'll highlight is the key bed. So the key bed is the basis, it's the foundation for the keys. That's what the keys rest on. It's basically everything, all of this cantilever thing that sticks out what the keys are on, that's the key bed. Okay, traditionally, key beds are made of wood, which, I mean, wood's great. Wood's been used on pianos since the beginning, of course, which goes back over 300 years. But wood, I mean, it's an organic material. It swells, it compresses with humidity. What's the word I'm looking for? It swells and compresses, I guess. It warps, it changes dimension ever so slightly. And so where it's the foundation in the same kind of way that in your home, the foundation of your home, if there's a crack or any kind of issue, any kind of settling in the foundation, you can find evidence of that up on the second floor or in the attic or the roof or whatever, because the system, the foundation cracks, it ripples up through the system, and then you see evidence of that up higher. Same thing, you've got the foundation, which in this case is made of aluminum. It's not made of wood. So you've got this aluminum key bed that runs from the very back here all the way to right about here. is where that aluminum ends, and it runs from 5 feet one side to the other. So that is super solid. Of course, aluminum is not going anywhere, and aluminum is what is used on all of these 5Ps, and it has borne out, again, 13 years. That's a long time. That's a lot of experience that I have personally with these pianos, and I've seen that bear out. The regulation, the keys, all of that are super stable, super consistent from year to year as I go back and service these people's pianos. I'm a believer in what they've done here. I think that's innovative. I think it's brilliant, and it's totally borne out in the real world. One more thing about that. Basically, the keys rest on that. The action, you can see, the action rests here, here, and here. All of that founded on the rock of aluminum. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing that I'll mention is the full perimeter plate. So traditionally, the plate is down at the bottom. It's kind of a triangular shape. Usually it comes down, this strut here goes across the bottom, and then this strut here. And that's the shape of the plate. Now the reason for that cast iron plate is because there is so vastly much tension on the piano. Between all of these strings, the total amount of tension you have is about 18 tons. You have about 160 pounds of tension on each of these strings. You multiply that by about 220 strings. Many notes have 3 strings each. You have about 18 tons. So you need a huge, thick piece of cast iron, like in a steam locomotive or something, to hold that kind of weight and tension. So traditionally, like I said, it's just a triangle shape with a strut here and a strut here, but in the HU5P, the HU1P, the smaller piano, the 48-inch version, this one's 52 inches, if I haven't mentioned that. The 48-inch version also has this full perimeter plate where there's a strut. You can see it comes up the side here, and then over there, a strut around the perimeter. And there again, I would absolutely say that that theory has borne out in practice to benefit making for a more stable tuning and just an overall, well, it makes for a heavier piano. I mean, you're adding probably another, I don't know what that is, 50 or 75 pounds of cast iron in there, and these pianos have consistently been more tunable, more consistently in tune, as I've seen over the years, and I suspect that that's probably a big part of that full perimeter plate. One other thing that I'll point out that these 5Ps do, HU5P, is these agraffes in the bass. So long story short, it has been determined that the superior termination point for these strings is an agraff. Traditionally, well, let's look, this piano is a Yamaha U3, which is kind of a pretty close competitor to the Hailun 5P. You can see what the termination point of the speaking length of these strings is just a pin that's drilled into the plate. And so, well, that's what you have on that U3. And an agraff is a more expensive way of doing it. It's a specialty brass piece that's put in there. In a nutshell, basically you have a wave that's propagating between this termination point and the termination point down at the bottom, kind of like a jump rope. If you hold a jump rope and you give it a wave on one side, that wave propagates through to the other side, and it kind of goes back and forth until it loses energy and it dies. So the termination points of that jump rope are crucial to, well, the propagation of that wave. And so you have the same thing. You've got a wave that is created by the hammer striking it, and like I said, it's just been determined that agraffes are the very best way of putting a termination point. Generally, agraffes are only used on grand pianos, and usually pretty nice grand pianos at that. They're not even used on all grand pianos, and so to have that in the in an upright is kind of a big deal. Okay, so let's do this. Why don't I play it real quick, and then I'll talk about the silent play system. So if you're not interested in the silent play, you can finish watching this video with just listening to it. If you are interested in the silent play, keep watching. Just right off, power. Warmth while still maintaining clarity. It's kind of an effortless power that I have with this piano. Sounds great. That is a killer piano. That is, and Mike, who's taking this video right now, he's behind the camera smiling right now because he can feel it. This is a killer piano. No question, I would put this piano up to a blindfold Coke Pepsi taste test against any $20,000-$30,000 German piano, $35,000 Steinway. I say that without inhibition or embarrassment. This piano is awesome. So why pay $35,000 when for a tiny fraction of that you can get something this good? Okay, if you're not interested in the silent system, now is your time to cut off. Let's talk about the silent system. Okay, so the silent system is, and why would you want to silence this piano? I don't know. I guess if you have a baby sleeping, or if you're in an apartment, you have thin walls or something, and you want to play at 2 in the morning, I guess that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would never want to silence this piano. Okay, the way this works is we have, obviously the piano works from the hammers striking the strings, exciting the strings, propagating the sound through the soundboard. Okay. With this little switch here, all you do is engage it like that, and now you still have the actual touch, the physical action of a real piano, and all you're getting is thump, thump, thump. I don't know if you can hear that. It's somewhat subtle, I guess. The hammers aren't actually striking the strings, and here's why. Have a look in here. You can see as I flip this switch under the key bed, you can see that go back and forth. So when it's back, you can see that hammer strikes, and when it comes forward, now it stops the hammer just before it hits the string. And here you have this system. Under the key bed, you have optical sensors that sense when you're playing a note. And let's see, are we, I don't know if you can hear it on the speakers. So as I play, I can hear loud and clear in the headphones. And then, you know, in a moment, just go back to a real piano. So there's a number of features on here. You've got a metronome. You've got other sounds as well. You can record. You've got effects, other sounds. So like I won't belabor the point, but you can go through and get different piano sounds. There's an electric piano, so like Ray Charles. Okay, we can try and get those through the. Is it coming through the headphones there? And you've got organs and all sorts of different sounds. Anyway, super cool system. And I'll say one more thing about the silent play. A major advantage to an acoustic piano, I would take a little tiny spin it like this one over there, well before I would take an actual electric piano, like a digital piano. I would take an acoustic piano any day, and the reason for that is because of touch. You have an actual physical, mechanical action in here that is giving you the correct touch, whereas in a digital piano, all you have is kind of a system of weights and levers that sort of simulate a real piano. In my opinion, a digital piano, it amounts to a counterfeit piano. There, I said it, counterfeit. It's not the real thing. But with this, you have the real thing. You have the advantage of a digital piano that you can play with headphones. You can practice with, I don't know, a hectic household full of people that are just at the end of their day and have had it up to here and they don't want to hear. You practice that piece one more time. You just put on the headphones and you have the advantage of the digital piano while still having the advantage of the touch of a real acoustic piano. Anyway, really cool system. We happen to install it on one of my very favorite pianos ever, the Hailun HU5P. Okay, long video, but this piano merits a long video. Thanks for watching.